Now, welcome everybody back to the Flying Doghouse. We're at first flight, sitting on the ramp. We're going to have an updated look at one of my favorite aircraft. We're going to take a look at the Cessna 206H. It was just updated a couple of days ago. It's Freeware. And I'll just lead off with this. I think it's the best GA freeware out there, period. It just keeps getting better and better. Let's jump over to the sim. Let's check this thing out. Alright, here we are. Sitting on the ground. At first flight at the Wright Brothers Memorial here in coastal North Carolina. So one of the things that Sal and team documented in terms of their update release notes was that they have worked on the 3D modeling of the aircraft to encourage folks to have a try at a livery. So I thought I would do something a little different from the original video. So I was flying the standard variant. So I've got the Tundra tires on here. Thought that might be unique and interesting. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit. Let's take a look at some of the changes that have been made here. So first and foremost, one of the things that I guess I'll mention is that camera views. Those have been updated and added, and we'll cycle through these while we're sitting on the ground here. So Control 1, nice zoom in of the main instrument panel on the pilot side of the house. Co-pilot side of the house, which is now customizable. You can also add some avionics to the co-pilot side. Down to the switches with Control 4, Control 5 to the console. Control 6 will take you up top, turn on some lights. Control 7 and 8 are going to give you some GoPro views. Control 9 into the cockpit with a pilot and co-pilot view. And I just couldn't resist. There's Quackers the duck. Going to be our co-pilot for the day. Control 0 to the top. And then we'll go back to Control 1, and then we'll recenter our view. So I think that was one of the things that I pointed out in the first look that I did of the aircraft, is that you might want to consider creating some custom views for yourself. But these I think are very, very well done. So Sal and team, thanks for taking care of that for us. Okay, so what's up next? So let's look at the tablet. So one of the things that I would point out here is under the instruments section, we can change the instrument configuration. So we'll go to current, and now you have a main and then a secondary avionics section. So that's for the co-pilot's view here. So let me just turn something on here. Let's cut on ADF. So that has now appeared. Let's add DME. Now we've got both of those on. So you can mix and match. You can also change the order, which I think is a nice touch. You can add the audio panel. And then notice that there are blue and what I'll call off-white color coding for the check marks here. So let's add the GNS 430, and notice that has now appeared over on the co-pilot side of the house. So you can save these as a preset if you choose to, which I think is an exceptional touch here on available on this wonderful piece of freeware. So there you go. So I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. Leave it to you folks to explore. So I'm going to cut the tablet off, and it restows it pilot left in the pocket. All right. So let's get some fuel on here. I'm gonna hide the yoke so we can see what we're doing. Let's take care of our mixture and we'll crack the throttle. Get ourselves ready here for a start. Good fuel pump on. Beacon is on. We'll let our ground crew know that we're getting ready to crank it up. Clear prop. All right, so master battery on. Got the avionics on. Get that stuff going. And then we can start the airplane. So you can either have digital or analog for your compass and for your situation indicator. Which I think is also, again, another incredible touch here for a piece of freeware. So this is beyond sim-worthy. And there are quite a few of us over on Virtual Flight Online's group flights that have been flying this one on the regular. It just looks good. It flies good. Let's get flaps 10, I guess. All right, I'm back here in the cockpit with Quackers. Oh, Quackers disappeared. I guess I cut the pilot and co-pilot stuff off. So, at any rate, we'll go for a fly anyway. All right, so just to give ourselves a little bit more visibility, I'm gonna pop over into flow, and I'm gonna change the time of day. Late afternoon. Have a late afternoon fly here at the beach. All right, we're going to start our taxi. Off we go. It'll be interesting with these big old fluffy Tundra tires. And we'll back taxi here on the runway. Get ourselves a number to call. Anyway, if you are going to fly in and out of first flight, take note of the power line pylons here at this end of the runway. There are also power line pylons at the other end of the runway too, so we'll get serious about doing a climb out, and then we'll turn over to the towards the ocean. And then we'll come back around and have our landing here. All right, so airspeed is alive. And we're up, positive rate. Things looking good here. Jump outside the airplane. Okay. All right, there's control 8. Looks good. Our control 7. That gives us the perspective from the landing gear. So we'll turn here, making our way back down, back toward the airfield. I don't want to get too far out into the Atlantic here. I guess the other thing that I would mention is that there are cowl flaps that do function on the aircraft, and they are bound to the spoiler controls. So if you have have that already bound to a keyboard control or something on your joystick, or if you have a throttle quadrant that also has that on it, you can also deploy your cowl flaps using the hardware. Excuse me. And we'll make our way down the beach here to Kill Devil Hill Dune, over to our right. We won't go all the way to the dune. Oh no, I'll showcase that. Well, this is an interesting tourist attraction here on the Outer Banks. It is a absolutely huge sand dune, and it is quite impressive and quite tall. And they do teach hang gliding here off the top of the dune. If you've never had a chance to try that, here's a place to try it. But it is a very, very unusual piece of geography here. So, at any rate, this 206H moves along quite nicely, so we won't add too much to the flight by doing an overfly here. So fishing and jet skiing and water skiing and all those fun things. Available either on either side of the banks, either in the Sound or in the ocean. Okay, here we go. Let's jump back inside the cockpit here. Go back to our nice forward view. Try that again. Well, we're just doing all sorts of explores here with the camera angles. Alright, we're back inside. There we go. Okay. Sorry about the camera gymnastics there. Self-situated so I can see over the nose of the aircraft here. Get our speed down into the white arc so we can start deploying some flap. And last time I landed this, I used flaps 10. And we've got our airspeed situated nicely here, so we're right at about 70. Slow down a little more. Would have been uncomfortably close to the power lines. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to chop throttle here when we get right over the threshold. And I'm just going to let this settle down onto the runway. There we go. Get ourselves slowed down here, and we will taxi all the way to the other end of runway down here to this turnabout, and then it'll give us a good view of the memorial. So if you don't have this aircraft, you need to go over on Flightsim.to and get it. It's awesome. Put the parking brake on here. I'm gonna grab the drone camera here. And have a look. Okay, so if you're not familiar with First Flight, there's the visitor center in the museum. These stone markers actually mark the the beginning of controlled aviation here. So we've got markers for each one of the individual flights. This one being the longest attempt. So that is very, very cool. Visitor center here is nicely done. The living quarters and the work shed for the Wright brothers still here. There you go. And then we'll make our way over here down to the memorial. So while we're doing this, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Again, if you don't have this aircraft, go get it from Flightsim.to. And if you do have it, go grab the update. Take advantage of that My Downloads link at the top of the page when you sign in. I think we're going to leave it here at the memorial. All right. Hopefully this was a helpful video. Again, I think this is the best general aviation piece of freeware for aircraft out on the web. So hope you enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it. It's a great bit of kit. Take care, everybody. Hope you're keeping well. Cheers, y'all.